Okay, so welcome. I am River Guyberson from Century 21 Thompson & Company, one of the broker owners here. I have been in the business for almost 13 years now, and we have had the brokerage since the end of 2015. Gary?
Gary Thompson. Me and River started this company back in the last day of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just me, River, Maureen, who's one of our partners that's not with us right now. And I've been in the business for, I don't know, going on 23 years, 22 years, something like that. And we're excited to be here.
Yeah, and we have a special guest with us today.
To talk about our special guest.
Yes. So we have Miss Maria Caivano with us today, who is our Director of Agent Development at Century 21 Thompson & Company. So welcome, Maria.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And we're happy to have you.
And you're in the hot seat. You're
Yes,
right in the
you
middle.
are.
The
Yes,
hot
you
seat.
are.
Yep.
Right.
So why don't you start with introducing yourself and a little bit about your background and how you came to end up working with us.
Yes, so I'm happy to be with you. I've been with the company since November 1st, 2023. I came from Century 21 Corporate. As Gary always said, they lured
Sorry,
us
corporate
away.
people.
Yeah.
And I was a growth consultant.
Right.
So I was not in charge, but I was the representative for all of the Century 21s in New Jersey, all the way from Sparta down to Cape May and over to the Philly area. And prior to that, I had been an agent for, 15 years or so up in Morris County. I worked for a competitor, and I started in 2005. So, I enjoyed doing that. And prior to that, I was an English teacher for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Oh, we know.
Middle school.
We get corrected
I'm
often.
still
Yes.
correcting. Yeah.
And tell your little fame story about when you were an English teacher.
Oh, so when I was an English teacher, I was out on maternity leave, and I was listening to the radio, and I was listening to Howard Stern at the time, and I was listening to him talk about this memo, that the station manager wrote, and it was really bad. It stunk. So I knew my husband had the number for, K-Rock at the time. So I said to him, hey, give me that number. I'm going to call. And I thought maybe I'll just get in, to be on the radio. So I called and I introduced myself. I told them I was an English teacher, and then this was a really bad letter. And they said, could you hold on 1 second? They put the station producer on, and he said, oh my gosh, this is great. Could you come down to the station tomorrow at from 7 to 7:30? We'd like to feature you, and you could grade this paper in front of everybody. We think it'll be great.
Did they give you a red pen?
They did.
Yeah.
They gave me a red pen. They blew up the letter, and I went the next day and I graded his paper. And he was really mad, the station manager, really mad.
He was insulted, I think. I
And
listened to the tape.
It was like my
insulted.
42 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
That was my 42 minutes of fame. And it was on E. So it used to be on K-Rock, and then it was on ETV. So that was
awesome.
my brush with fame, River.
I love that. So you joined us almost, I guess, about a year and a half ago now,
Yep.
almost. And I guess talk about the beginnings of how this all happens.
Well, I always tell everybody a few years ago,
Yeah.
you guys came to me. We were at a golf outing, I think it was,
Yes,
like a fundraiser. And Gary said, or maybe you said it, one of you said, maybe both of you said it, you're going to come and work for us someday. And I said, yeah, I don't think so. Because, corporate
I think same
world
thing
is
Maureen
nice.
said.
Yeah, I don't think
we
so.
originally were asking her to come.
We can be very persistent.
Yeah, corporate was nice, and I had friends, and I still have friends there. You got your 401k, you got your vacation time, you got your holidays off and stuff like that. And my boss was a really good boss. He knew I would get my stuff done, and so he pretty much just let me be.
Yeah.
And so I liked it, but it was really boring.
Yeah.
So time went on, and you said it again. You got to come and work with us. And then finally, I was like, well, let's see if they do anything with this. And you did. You set up a date we went to a restaurant.
Lebranos, right?
Yeah, we went to
Lebranos.
Lebranos and
Yes.
Wall, and we had a nice dinner. And it was you guys and Maureen, and I knew that night when you said, "All right, we're going to go back and we'll like get something together
Yeah.
for you."
Yeah.
And I thought, well, let's see what they do. But I knew that I was going to go with you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
because it was a good personality fit. It was everything that I had ever done as far as my jobs, and it was going to come together
Right.
in this one job.
Yeah. Right.
So
Literally.
yeah, real
Teaching, real estate, corporate side.
everything.
Yeah.
It was just like the perfect time.
Right. Right.
And honestly, from like what we were thinking at the time was like, as soon as we met you, we instantly like,
Yeah.
we love you. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? You were great at your job. And, you know, we were like, wow, she's a teacher. She also was an agent.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's somewhere
And
we
we
can go with
needed
this.
help.
And
Yeah.
I knew your agents
Yes.
pretty
Right,
well.
right,
Like
right.
a couple of them pretty well.
Yeah.
So that made it easy. It wasn't like I was a stranger. And even that first day that I started, you had like a little luncheon.
Yes.
So it was nice to see these people
Right.
again. It wasn't like I was coming in, cold
Right.
to the company.
Right.
And I've been here ever since.
And it's been great so far.
Oh, great. I love it.
It's
Yes.
been wonderful.
And we love
Yes.
having you.
Yeah.
So, all right. So your title with us is Director of Agent Development.
Right.
And why don't you explain a little bit about it, what that is, and what you do with the company?
So I had been thinking about this when you sent me the title.
Yeah.
My job is to get the agents to where they want to be.
Okay.
Wherever that is. We have over 90 agents right in the office, and some are part-time, and some are top producers, and some are, like, we call them the core,
Yeah.
and everybody else in between. So I have to get these people to wherever it is that they want to be in their business. And for some agents, that may be 4 transactions. That's it. That's all they want to do. That's all they need to do. And for some, that might be 40 transactions.
Right. Right.
So over the past year and some months, we've developed some programs
Yes.
to build, for these agents support
Right.
to get them to the next level.
And I think we have to add to the title education too, because really it's Maria's in charge of education.
True. Yeah.
Like you're the one that schedules everything, and you're the one that runs to me, River Maureen, and say, I want you to do this class, or I want you to
Yeah,
do this class.
yeah.
So we owe that planning,
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
And,
it's been great.
And this year, right, we even tweaked it. We got
Yes,
together at the
yes.
end of the year, and that was really good. We had our own goal-setting session, and we decided we need to maybe shift some of this stuff. Because
Right.
last year it was all like, I don't know, let's see
Yeah,
how
we're just
it,
starting. We're trying to figure it out.
Let's see how it goes.
Right.
And, we have to be open to shifting things,
Right.
too.
Yeah, like
If
the small
it's-
group masterminds. It's been
Yeah,
great. It's been
yeah,
great.
and it's really good because certain people are looking for development in certain areas.
Right.
So why offer like one training to everybody when it
Right.
might be boring to some
Exactly.
people or it might be not as advanced? So that's what we're doing this year.
So let's talk about some of the things that we are doing as a brokerage,
Mm-hmm.
which I think really sets us apart from other brokerages.
definitely.
And you know this because you
Oh, yeah.
you dealt with brokers all throughout the state of New Jersey, and you saw what they did, and you see what we do, and what
Yep.
you've been able to implement. Mm-hmm. And so some of the programs that you've come up with. I mean, let's talk about specifically Thompson Trailblazers. That was one of the biggest things that you've
Game changer.
created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
And I think that's an awesome program, whether
Mm-hmm.
you're a newer agent or if you're experienced, you can definitely learn something from it. So why don't you just talk about Thompson Trailblazers, how that came to be, and what the results of that have been?
And what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thompson Trailblazers is a 7-week productivity program. And we welcome, like you said, new agents, seasoned agents. I'm finding that the seasoned agents get more out of it.
Right.
I agree.
Because they know, a little bit of or a lot of it of information, and then they can use that. So it's a coaching and productivity program.
Right.
And it starts in the very beginning. How do you listen to people and how do people perceive you? So we start with a very basic, like a listening exercise on day one, where they have to ask questions and listen to each other, and that's important in
Right.
real estate.
Yeah, it is.
It's not about you, it's about your client.
Right.
And from there, we go into, okay, now how are you perceived out there?
Right.
So we work on their websites, we work on their buyer and seller presentations. I bring in guest speakers. Some of them are from the Century 21 franchises, other top producing agents who give their best tips and tricks. And then I bring people from the outside. I
Yep.
bring title people in and mortgage people in and all kinds of people in. And so by the end of those 7 weeks, the full package, it's wrapped up in a full package
Right.
for them. And they should be able to go and get started.
Right.
And really implement. And if they've been seasoned agents, now they can really start implementing this
Right.
stuff in their business. So.
And we've had how many go through the program?
Oh, we had two.
Two
Because we're not
cohorts,
offering
yeah.
this every month.
Right,
This is
no,
going to
no.
happen, twice a year or
Right.
whatever. So we had 12 the first time
Right.
around, and then I think 9.
Okay,
and
yeah.
and those people are up. The group, up 137% in their
Collectively.
production collectively in their
So
production.
that's a huge jump.
That's a big jump. I'm really happy. I'm
Right.
proud to.
137% is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people would like to be up 10 or 20%.
Right. Right.
So
right.
to be up that much collectively as a group, I think is really big.
And what I found to be nice about the course too is it's far from boring.
Right.
It's not
Something
it's not
different
like
every day.
work. It's something
Yeah.
different every day,
Yeah. Right.
and and it's not all day, so it's not like, oh my God, I got to be here for 5
Right.
hours or anything like that. And a lot gets done.
Right.
And it's valuable. It's really valuable information that we're talking about. We're talking about, like you said, making sure that you have your buyer presentation set up. Okay, what's the best practices of actually making a buyer presentation? What is the content that I should be putting in it? Same thing with the seller presentations. When the mortgage people come in, how can we be more creative with our clients to hopefully get more deals accepted for them that
Right.
other people might not know about?
Right. We want you to be wherever, again, whether you want to do 4 or 14 or 40, at our company, we want to get you there.
Right.
And we have this group of people. We even had at Thompson Trailblazers, the social media
Yes.
guy who
Yes,
was
Bob,
excellent.
Bob McCraney from Tom
Yeah.
Ferry. He's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, he was really great because he was like, quit putting these general
Yes.
posts out there.
yeah.
Who are you marketing to?
Right. Exactly. Be more intentional.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that drives me crazy about social media. And not to say that I'm the end all be all or any of us are.
I thought you were.
Well, maybe in other ways, but you can tell when a company, a brokerage, let's say, hires a social media person for the office.
Yeah.
And then every person
Same thing.
on this
Yeah.
on one particular day, it was the social media person must have been in the day before, and they're all posting the same stupid graphic that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
All right, so we're trying to think outside the box. How can we get you to grow your presence on social media
Right.
through different tactics?
We just had a class last week, and the guest speaker said, for 2025, where do you want to be? Who do you want to represent? Sellers, buyers? Well, then your social media should be focused on
Right.
wherever you want to be.
Right.
And so I wrote that down. I was like, that's a
Right,
great idea,
right.
because people just think, oh, I have to post.
Right.
No, post
No, it's-
who you want to attract.
Exactly. So, I mean, the point here is basically Thompson Trailblazers brings you from the very basics of just listening and speaking skills all the way up to, okay, you have your buyer presentation, you have your seller presentation, you're doing your social media, you have your prospecting skills, you have
Yeah.
all of these things. Now you're ready to go out and actually
confidently.
implement all
Yeah.
of these things and grow your business.
Right.
And we're seeing that it's actually working
Right,
in our company.
right.
Yeah, and also, just because the agents go through this class doesn't mean we don't get the phone calls constantly, and that's the stuff that we signed up for.
Yeah.
Developing them when
Right.
questions come up.
Right, it doesn't end there.
It doesn't end there.
Right, and we have so much other training and opportunities available within our company.
Yeah. We have
yeah,
our
I'll let you
small
talk about
group.
that.
We have, first of all, going back to Thompson Trailblazers, not only, are they developing their business, they're developing relationships within the company.
Sure, yeah.
So I see these agents afterwards partnering, talking to each other, sitting next to each other, texting each other, because there's a level of trust
Right.
now over the 7 weeks that has developed.
Yeah, and it was nice
And
to
I love
see.
that.
It was cool because the classes that went through, they got tight with each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
they
asked
had their
questions. And
graduation, yeah,
and I think that was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
The camaraderie of it.
Right.
Yeah,
was amazing.
definitely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And then we have small group sessions
Yes, yep.
that we're trying, whether sphere of influence, market knowledge, systems.
Well, because last year and years before, we were doing a general mastermind
Yeah.
every week
Yeah.
at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
And we talked about a lot of great things. But again, to your point that you made earlier, you have to meet the agents where they're at.
Yeah.
And they might, not every agent needs the same thing. And so the idea behind it was, let's figure out maybe some core topics that our agents really need help with and create small group masterminds that are limited in the amount of people that
Size,
can join
yeah.
because we want to make it more intimate and offer them stuff. So like you said, I do a systems and products. What is it? Systems and
Processes.
Processes.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. Systems and processes. How can you automate your business a little bit more, make it a little bit easier for you to do things? Gary does a market knowledge class. What are all the things that you need to know in the market?
Yeah, and part of my class, it's not a lot of what I can teach, but it's trying to establish a mindset.
Right.
And that's knowing the inventory is my class sessions that we do.
Right.
And I tell the agents, I said, you never know when you're going to run into somebody and a conversation pops up about real estate.
Yep, you
You're going to
better
grab
know.
those people because you're going to say, oh, what price range? Oh,
Right.
did you see the house over here, the house over there?
Right.
That's what's going to
Yeah.
set
You know
themselves
what you're
apart.
talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then Maureen does sphere of influence.
She
which
had
she's
that
the
this
queen of.
morning.
Yep. She's amazing at that. And then Mike does commercial. So for our
right,
commercial
our commercial
agents.
team.
So we're offering. What else are we doing?
We do lunch and learn.
we're doing
So
a million
that's
other
our
things, yeah.
big general session.
Yes.
In the summer, we do brunch and learn.
Yeah.
We did action workshops, which are lead generating activities that you could do. And I would give you something for every day, Monday through Friday, to do to just, get
And
a
you know
lead.
what? And I guess we can call it part-time night mastermind
Yes.
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was very well attended.
Yeah, it
we
was
didn't even
well
have enough
attended.
seats. Yeah, that was great. That was awesome.
Trying to figure out how to have something for everybody within the company.
Right,
Well,
right.
I think we're there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and,
it
we're
seems to be
always
working.
and we're always going to have to change
Right.
Adapt. Yeah.
because once people go through Thompson Trailblazers, okay, where else can we take them
Right.
next?
Right.
So I'm always looking for ideas.
The other thing that I love too is, with some of these trainings that we do, is when we are able to incorporate our agents into it, meaning okay, if we know, Stacy is really good at social media.
She's our guest speaker for Top Producer Masterminds.
Exactly.
Next
So,
week.
let's bring Stacy in and have her talk about what she's doing on social media, right? So we try to get our agents to participate in these things because, not only does it make them feel included, but they
Right.
have valuable things to offer.
Right.
Yeah, and what's nice about that too is our agents aren't afraid to share it with each other.
Right.
And
Everybody's
they're-
sharing.
Yeah,
That's
everybody
our
shares.
culture, and
Right.
that is, and when I tell them this, I hope they believe me. That is so rare
Right.
in our business that agents share.
I've
They're
been at
usually
offices where you have
locked
to
in
hide
the-
your stuff.
You
can't even,
you
yeah.
lock your file
Yep,
cabinet.
that's
You
true.
lock your door. You put your blind. I know.
Right, right.
I was there at an
Right.
office. You put your blind down so nobody could hear you or see you.
Didn't you see two ladies fight at your old brokerage over a deal?
And my partner and I in our office, I looked at her and I said, "Are they fighting? Are they fighting again?" And I peeked out the door and I just shut the door
gosh.
because they were physically fighting.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
don't
not,
have
that kind of stuff does not happen in our brokerage.
No, they share ideas, they share best practices. I'm amazed that they'll even say, I called on blah, blah, blah at 123 Main Street. And I still have that old thought, like, don't tell anybody.
Right, right.
You know,
right.
but nobody, you know, I'm trying to think of a
Nobody
kind
poaches
word.
each other's
Nobody
business.
Nobody steps on each
we're
other's
happy
toes.
for each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
which is great.
Yeah.
No, we have built a nice culture, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the agents feel that. And
Oh, definitely. And I
been good.
think, you know, each of us has our own strength.
Right.
Yours is like, if they start talking to me about the yellow house with the blue shutters, I go, I don't know, because I'm not from Monmouth County.
Right.
So I'll say, you gotta go talk to Gary.
Right, right.
And then if they say something to me like, I need a spreadsheet, again, I kind of glaze over.
Don't talk to Gary.
I go,
Don't talk to Gary.
Not me or Gary. Go talk to River,
Right,
because I think he'll know how to do this.
Right.
And then on top of all this, we have a great marketing director.
Yes, we do.
You know, who comes up with great ideas and uses Canva and this and that. I don't even
Right.
know all the different stuff, but I just say, "Help, Joe," you know, and he comes.
Well, he was a
and
big
helps.
part of Thompson Trailblazers too, with
Yes.
developing the
Oh,
buyer's
yeah.
presentation,
Yep.
the seller's
Right.
presentations.
Yeah.
I mean,
We flood him with work.
I saw Raquel's the
overwhelmed.
other day, and I was like, "Wow, this is really impressive." And I know
It's
she
good.
worked hard on it
Yeah,
with Joe.
with
you know,
Joe.
So that was big.
So, you know, we have that too. And then, you know, Maureen is the relationship
Yes.
person. I always say, Maureen can, you know, say anything to anybody and it comes out
Yes.
just so.
Right.
She's the queen.
Yes.
She really is.
Yes.
And she knows so many people in town. And, you know, and that helps you get business too.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
So,
Yes,
and then we have Mike Fabosi, who's
Yeah.
been here before, I know that. And he's our, you know, like corporate and our commercial guy.
Yes,
He
yes.
and he's training up that team.
Yep.
And we get a lot of commercial leads.
We have been getting a lot of commercial
We
leads.
get a
and
lot
that was
of
not something that
commercial-
we.
Nope.
I mean, for so long, I mean, like Gary said before, I mean, we've had the company since the end of 2015. I can't tell you how many commercial leads that we had over the years that we didn't have anybody that did commercials.
Yeah,
So they just
it's a different
They just
animal.
were gone.
Right.
And then when we decided, okay, let's actually make a commercial division, and
Last
Mike
January.
Mike
And he ran with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're like doing commercial deals.
Yeah.
And he's heading that up, and it's amazing.
And agents are they take their little tests. You know, they
Yep,
go through
yep.
training. They take their test, and then they mentor with Mike.
Right.
And you know, when he feels they're ready, then they do their deals. But he's always with them. He
Right.
never just leaves them
Right.
on their own.
Right.
So we fill nice gaps, I
Yes.
think, among all of us.
And plus, everybody in the brokerage, I mean, if anybody needs help with anything, I mean, pretty much anyone is willing to
willing.
help.
Yeah. And I've never seen, like, if something happens and you have a showing at 5, help, you know, something happens
Right.
with the kids and now you can't do the showing. I've never seen in a company where I could put out on our chat, like,
Yeah.
help, I need somebody to
Right.
show 123 Main Street, and somebody says, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, all the time. All the
You
time.
know, they just step up
Yeah.
for each other.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
So, all right. So, Maria, since your job is director of agent development / education, I think you probably have a vision of what you'd like to accomplish.
Yeah. I have a unit vision,
Yeah,
like for the year.
Explain what do you see? I mean, obviously Gary and I have a vision, but I'm just curious from your perspective, what is your end goal with the company?
Every year there will be a new unit goal and adjusted gross commission
Yeah.
goal. You know, that's because we're in business. So
Yes.
we want to keep our doors open, you know, so we need to set the bar every year a little bit higher. But my real goal is that there are a lot of hacks out there.
Yeah.
They do stuff wrong.
Yes.
They don't serve their clients well. They're unprofessional in their manner with each other and, you know, with the community. And I want our company to be like the cream of the crop.
Right.
You know, Gary always says, be better.
Yeah.
And
You're better than that.
yeah, you're better than that. Be better. And that's what I want us to be known for. That not only do we have a great community, they
Right.
have a lot of fun together. You know, they do this, they have that, you
Right.
know, events going on. But if you want to be a really good, solid agent,
Gary, get your phone off the table.
You come
A
to
new
Thompson
listing must
and
have just
Company.
come
Yeah,
out.
that's it.
Because yep, subscription. Yep.
Oh my
That's it.
gosh, he has all these buzzers and whistles and stuff. New listing. So I want us to be known for, if you want to be with a fun group of people, a good group of people, but you want to like be a solid agent.
Right.
That's what I want for our company.
And it comes back to taking care of the client first.
Right.
And number one
you're
thing
here
I
to
tell the
serve
new
your
agents,
client.
when they come in the door, is the best interest of your clients come first. The money will come.
Yes.
The money will come.
Yes.
Trust me.
Right.
You know, because I have a lot of agents look at me sometimes, and River used to do it a lot. Like, what are you doing? Your truck's full of somebody else's shit. Like, why do you have all that stuff? It's like,
I still do that
if it's,
too.
I know.
Oh no.
Because I'll just call
And
somebody
Maria,
to do
Maria
it.
sees it too, but she
Take
sees
it
it at the
out.
curb for bulk.
No, I'd rather pay somebody than to do that stuff.
But you know what though? I don't mind doing it, and if it takes a little bit of the stress off of my seller or my buyer, or you know, it goes like at a walkthrough and people are bitching about the house isn't clean. It's like, you know what? Here's a couple $100. Like we'll get it clean for you. Like stuff like that.
Right.
Goes a long way.
Right.
And I think, like, Gary, you do that. You all do this with your clients. If you love your client and you're there to serve them, I always say, if you love them, they know it.
Oh yeah.
And that's how I feel about our agents. Like, I can hear them on the third floor, so I hear them coming up the steps, and I could tell like, oh, who is coming up.
Right.
And I want them to know I love them. Like, you could call me at night. You could call me for personal stuff. You could call me on the weekends. You're not bothering me because my job is you.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to make you happy.
And what is wonderful about that is like, we didn't know what to expect, like coming in, like because River and I talked about it, Maureen, and we're like, they're gonna bother her at night, and like stuff like that.
I'm an agent,
but
you know I'm
what?
used to that.
But we feel that you're into this. It's not a job,
Right.
you know, as much as you know, like it's not a job for us. Like we love what we do,
Right.
And we can see that you love what you do by
That's
the
how
way you interact.
I'm always thinking about it. You know, I don't like. I may close the computer at 4 or 5, but it never leaves me.
Right.
On my way home, I'm calling an agent,
Right. How
or
can
I'm
we make
thinking
things
about
better?
like what
So
are you
I guess
doing?
where I was going with that was
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Oh,
No, because you know what? I
love
know
it.
some people would say, you know what, 5 o'clock, don't text me at 8 o'clock
Right.
at night.
Nah,
Don't text
that's
me
not
now.
real
Like,
estate
you know,
either.
it's, you know, but
that's-
it's refreshing to have.
Right.
But
Our
you,
business
you,
is
like that.
you,
Yeah.
you gotta love them, and just like with your clients, when you love them, they know it, and then they go above and beyond, and they want to do better.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and we
Except
see
I
that.
do have a client that just seems to text me at like midnight, 2 o'clock in the
No,
morning.
that-
Houses that she wants to see.
After
and I'm like,
11:30,
Yeah,
I
no.
do. Everybody does, except for my kids and my family goes on Do Not
Yeah.
Disturb. From 11:30 to 6:30, I'm on Do Not
Yeah.
Disturb.
You gotta cut off
so I
somewhere.
can sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
come on.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for
you're welcome. I'm
coming
glad to
on
be
and
here.
talking with us.
Yeah.
thank you for being who you
yes,
are.
Oh, thank
we
you.
love having you. Seriously.
It's before, you know, my job before, which was kind of easy. And again, like I said, they let me do my own thing. That was the good part of it. But the bad part was on Sunday nights, I would think like, oh, I got to go to work.
Right. Right.
I don't feel that I look forward to coming to work
Well, that's good.
every day.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I really do. I tell people I really like my job, even on the crazy days.
Yeah.
And we do have crazy
We do.
days
We
some
do.
days.
And you can tell
Is it
in
a full
the way
moon?
the agents react to
Right.
you as well, because I get those texts, those calls, those
Oh,
conversations a lot about, you know, how happy the agents are that you're here.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
All right, Gary. Any closing thoughts that you could think of?
No, I'm just excited at who we are and who we're becoming, and you know, Maria being a part of that, you know, is really something. It was like a missing piece to the puzzle
Right.
that we needed,
Yeah.
and here you are.
Thank you. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to be here.
All right. Well, if you're an agent who is looking to grow your business with a company that will put effort and time into you, and you know, have somebody like Maria at your back, we'd love to talk to you because you know we're always looking for good agents that will fit our culture, really.
Yeah, and even if they want to pop
yeah.
into a training session,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, come and see, come and feel,
Right.
you know, get the
Right.
feeling for us and come and see what we're doing. But, you know, I had somebody look at our training calendar for the first quarter, and she was like, "That's exhausting." I was like, "Well, it's a lot, but we
Right.
again
Like,
we
what are you
wanna,
doing here? You wanna
yeah,
do
we
business.
want to offer all of this to everybody, and you pick and choose where you are to
Yeah,
grow your
whatever works for
business,
you.
and we're going to get you there."
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you are interested in learning more about Century 21 Thompson and Company, you can go to our website, www.c21thompsonco.com, or message us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever works for you. Thanks again. Have a good one.
Everybody.